if you want, he's, whatever, 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, however old he is, he just wants the baddest thing around in his mind. Like,
she ain't all that.
At any cost. I mean, in his mind, she is.
But also, like, it's a good point because I think, like, they met in high school, and what I was talking with my friend is like, okay, maybe that was, like, the baddest girl in his high school, so he's always going to see her like that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's kind of like, okay, now I got the girl that everyone wanted back then, or I always wanted back then, so now I'm going to stay with it. But, like, at this point, he's got to – I think everyone's worried because they want to help him. It's, like, coming out of a good place from most of the fans that they want him to, like, get into a positive situation. Especially when he's about to get that bag. But
he seems like a genuinely good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he just really does.
I look up the stuff every week. I feel like I do a decent job, right, Pink?
Yeah, you're solid, man.
Stuff. Now, sometimes I miss stuff. I hit Pink up a couple days later, like, man, we kind of missed this. This is, like, crazy, blown up. I don't know how I missed this. And then sometimes I'll see something and I'll be like, who cares about that? And then, I was wrong on it. And I was wrong on something from last week. And for the life of me, I can't understand why it became so big. And that's Travis Hunter's girlfriend.
Yeah.
This story is like blowing up with different things about Travis Hunter and his girlfriend, and first how she's the people are saying, she's just in it for the money, she doesn't really like you. I remember the first comment I saw her make was, he's not really my type, but and then it's he would leave me, he would stay in the car while I went to the parties and all this and that, and people are and my And I didn't think it was gonna like blow into something.
But it's got the perfect nexus. Like, he's the Heisman Trophy, so he's like a hot celebrity. He's like an iconic. He's on his way to become an iconic athlete. People are gravitate towards him because of the two-way thing and the flash that he plays with. And then you crisscross that with just the basic dynamics of dysfunctional relationships, which is also something people love to talk about.
Yeah,
it is, but I just didn't think people cared about who somebody is with to that degree. To you know what I mean?
They don't care, but you're basically checking like two major boxes.
I understand that
because you could have a sports guy's going to be aware of this because they know Travis Hunter, and then a lot of like non-sports people are going to be in it because maybe they empathize with the female or they just don't like the way the media's tearing down people, and it's just the perfect storm of keeping people engaged.
Well, that's a good point because I was thinking about this too earlier. Like, like the girls, some girls I date where they'll say, I know sports. I know this guy. And they'll start naming like the guys in sports that they know. And they'll be like, I know Russell Wilson and I know LeBron and I know Tristan Thompson. I know. And they start naming all of the guys, Lamar Odom. And it's like, okay, how do you know these guys? Well, such and such Ciara, and then Tristan dates all of these, funny or famous white girls, and it's like that's how they attach it to the women that they're dating. That's how they know. You don't know sports, so no, you just know about this athlete because you follow the women that they're with.
Right.
That's not the same thing.
Travis Kelce fell in that category.
Yeah.
For sure.
Travis.
But even like. He had like kind of even before the Taylor Swift stuff, like he had a thing where like females just liked him.
Yeah. Well, he had a TV show too.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like The Love of Travis.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of women started to find him attractive and stuff like that. And you're right. And a lot of women started following him.
Because you know what's a super funny Instagram thing is like. You follow like a Travis Kelce or whatever, but like on the likes there'll be people like the first one will usually be somebody that you have in common.
Yeah.
And so like, but you'll see somebody that like has no idea about sports or anything, and they're like the first like on a Travis Kelce post. I go, what's going on there?
Yeah, no, that happens all the time.
Your sister did with Marcus Rashford one time.
Who is Mark?
Don't expose it like that.
Don't expose it like that.
That's crazy.
He's a Man United English soccer player.
Oh, okay.
And it was like I'm literally like scrolling through whatever, and it's like Holland Pink. Okay. How do you know who he is?
Well, a long family soccer line. What you think about that, man? About the. Not about Holland, but about Travis Hunter's girlfriend, about how it's trending in the news. Like, people just, that's just something people flock to.
That shit was crazy because I just looked into that like a week ago because I guess they had a fight on the sideline that kind of went viral like a week ago.
Yeah, that too.
Which is, I think, why, first and foremost, it was kind of big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then like people started digging up like the old videos they made together, and then she was saying stuff like that, like, oh, I go to a party and he just has to wait outside in the car. And then also the thing about the type thing was crazy because she also said she dubbed him and like didn't respond to his DMs for like 2 months because he tried to hit her up. And then like 2 months later, all of a sudden she wanted to like talk to him. I think that's crazy. Like
when she found out who he was.
You don't gotta tell me twice. Like if you dub me for 2 months or like a week or like a day, like I get the message. I'm not gonna try again. But
24 hours and out.
type of shit, like,
I mean,
he's silly for that.
I do feel like like to me, what's interesting is the more we learn about this, the more like dysfunctional and toxic it becomes. It's just like, this chick is a mess. Like, get the fuck away.
Should a guy care about that, though?
If you're him?
If you want, whatever, 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, however old he is, he just wants the baddest thing around in his mind. Like,
she ain't all that.
At any cost. I mean, in his mind, she is.
But also, like, it's a good point because I think, like, they met in high school. And what I was talking with my friend is, like, okay, maybe that was, like, the baddest girl in his high school. So he's always going to see her like that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's kind of like, okay, now I got the girl that everyone wanted back then, or I always wanted back then. So now I'm going to stay with it. But, like, at this point, he's got to. I think everyone's worried because they want to help him. It's, like, coming out of a good place from most of the fans that they want him to, like, get into a positive situation. Especially when he's about to get that bag. But
he seems like a genuinely good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he just really does. I saw, like, a hysterical little video today. I guess he pulled up to, like, a bull riding rodeo. And they kind of, like, I guess there's a young, promising bull rider. And, like, they introduced him. He was getting interviewed by the regular bull people. And then Travis came in, and they shook hands. And the dude was blown away. And then after the guy did his bull ride, he did the Heisman Trophy and pointed at Travis in the crowd. Like, he just seems like a cool dude. Like, a good person. And on some level, I don't think you want to see anybody that you feel is a good dude, get done wrong.
Right. Now, one thing about the high school, 10s in high school become like 7s in college. And
for real.
Once you get around, like,
maybe 6s.
And once the demographic change and more people is in the school, that's just like, that's just natural statistics. It's not.
Yeah, no, it is.
The pond gets bigger.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The pond becomes an ocean.
So, so it's a little interesting that, he didn't find someone to latch on to. But like you said, he just has that, that infatuation that he had in high school is just carried over in college, yeah.
No, I think that's a great take, but I do think, like, you got to, as you're moving up these levels and being in different situations, and I'm not even saying this from the perspective of just finding hotter women. It's just like you're moving in a place and you got to have the right people behind you, and she might not be the right person. I mean, it started like the final home game of Colorado. You had a great game, and on the sideline, she appears to be pouting about something. It's like, if you're gonna be with somebody in the public eye like that, like, take care of that at the house. Even if something's wrong, like, just take care of it at the house, because you do it in public, it becomes this. You do that behind closed doors, you have a chance to manage the situation, work it out, maybe decide it can't be worked out, but you can't behave that kind of way in public. And then there was like another video this week of he was like taking pictures with fans and she's kind of acting all snipey on the side. It's just like, if you want to be around this man, this is his life now.
Yeah, he was
it
like,
ain't gonna go back to anything else.
He was saying how he's going to sign like every signature he possibly can. Like, you know what I mean? That's just going to be his thing. And then also he was on the podcast with the guys, the former NFL guys, and he was saying how he's going to propose to her like right after the draft. You know what I mean? And
man.
She already knows, and he has the ring, and this and that. And,
I don't want to see it.
We lost one.
We lost one.
We
lost a good one.
Yeah, we did.
He'll be in the gym in a year.
Hey, I mean, if he can get this resolved and get the divorce over before his first real NFL contract, who knows?
He's not married yet. You don't need the divorce. You just need the deuces.
If his mind is already made up, he has 4 years for this.
Somebody's got to unmake that.
He has 4 years for this to go down the drain. That's
4
a
years.
decent enough time. Your first NFL contract is 4 years.
Oh, the rookie deal.
The rookie deal.
Don't let it get the extension.
Don't let it get to the extension is my point.
Like Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Spo's a legend.
There you go, just like Spo.
The team collaborated.
Before the real money comes, man, get this figured out.
Hey, I'm not his biggest fan, but Travis needs to take a page from Russell Wilson.
What's that?
Remember the crazy white girl that was at draft day?
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about raising somebody else's kid.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
What
that
page
could have
is
went
that,
like
man?
No. He had the crazy white girl that had
Yeah.
that maniacal face,
Yeah.
and he got rid of her.
Yeah.
Upgraded
Shortly
to
after.
Sierra, who's got her own money.
Yeah.
Even if it's another person's kid, like she's got money, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
okay.
yeah, you're okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
you're okay.
Takes a lot of stress out of the situation.
It really does.
So,
It really does.
Travis, listen up.
I thought that was definitely interesting.
You're going down a path from which you may not recover.
Now, aside from that situation, now Travis is standing firm on he's a two-way player. He's been that way since the beginning of football career, and he's going to end that way. He's telling NFL coaches, and he's already having these conversations, and that's what he's going to go through the draft process. What do you think? He wants to play both ways.
That's what makes him special. That's absolutely what makes him special. I don't want him to be put on just one side of the ball and do an occasional, special package of plays, like basically like what Deion had in his career.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want him to give him the opportunity to do everything that he can do. And if he fails, he'll be doing what he intended to do. That's fine. At least let him do. I mean, maybe a couple years into the career, maybe there's a decision, hey, let me just focus on offense or defense or whatever. But this is what makes this guy special. There's not one Travis Hunter fan of him as an athlete and a person who wants to see him play one side of the ball next year in the NFL. That's not interesting. That's not what this guy is. And I'm proud of him for being like direct and saying, I'm here to play two ways. If you want to draft me to do what I do.
Yeah.
Don't draft me to do something else. I hope he continues to stand on that, and I hope some, GM, front office, coach, team has the balls to do it, to let him do it.
Yeah.
It's a little dangerous though. Like all those reps, you can get injured. I think that's one problem, and then it also depends who do you have in the positions. Like, do they have two good starting cornerbacks? Do they really need to put him on that side of the ball? I see him as a receiver. I think that's why I saw him make more of the freaky plays. But it's a little raw, obviously the route running, but like just getting a hand on the ball and winning one-on-one matchups, I thought he looked better at receiver.
Yeah. I mean, when you follow the money is with the receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
I imagine you have to classify his position. Now there are a couple of guys when you look it up. I'm not sure when you follow the pay structure, but like the Taysom Hill in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like when you look him up on Google, it says like halfback, tight end, quarterback. Like you know what I mean. So
yeah, it's the well. I mean Cordell Stewart back in
Cordell
the day
Stewart.
was a slash,
Yeah.
quarterback receiver.
yeah. But for him, I do think corner is the best and safest position for him. But again, I want to see him play both ways as well. You know what I mean? So, the player that comes to my mind is Deion Branch. Now, Deion was a package guy, the Branch from New England.
Yeah.
But he played a lot on both sides. Like it was, especially in the postseason and big games, it was more than the package. They used him in the slot, and he was the slot corner. He was a slot corner and slot receiver.
Yeah,
that's what he was.
Yeah.
I would like to see Travis do that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm rooting for, and I'll be disappointed if anything else happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, the danger element, like, I get it, but it's dangerous to play football. Yeah. Guys get hurt every game. Guys get hurt every week. If that's what you're basing it off of, you should probably play golf.
And last thing here, that was pretty funny. But what was I going to say? Because him and Shador was on was one of those platforms, and it was like and it was playing a game. It was like, who's your favorite team? Travis asked, okay, who's my favorite NFL team? And Shador was like Jacksonville Jaguars, and they both had a laugh about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just thought that was funny and interesting that they, had that, because Jacksonville. So what I took from it is that Shador knows Travis does not want to go to Jacksonville. Right. So that's the part of the joke. Yeah. But that's a high possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I've enjoyed both of these guys because they have a great sense of like existing in this moment, having fun with it, having personality, and just being who they are.
I wish we could see it in the NFL, but it's just not going to be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.